As most of you are aware, our next speaker has devoted her life and career to helping others seek peace and happiness. Now, isn't that a noble and hopeful endeavor? What would you say if she had told you to stop hoping? Welcome to the dark side of hope, Toastmaster Elizabeth Ramirez.
It has been said that too little or too much hope can kill. We all have, at one point in our life, been told to hold on to hope. For hope is a feeling that drives us forward and helps us to believe in the possibility of a better tomorrow. It's a force that can keep pushing you towards your dreams, even when the odds are stacked against you, such as your dream home or a job promotion. We all have at one point even hoped for a miracle or hoped that someone would change. But what if I told you that holding on to hope can also create despair, feelings of hopelessness, and stop you from finding that happiness and peace that you have been seeking for? Would you believe me? Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I would like to welcome you to the dark side of hope. And how hope can be an unintentional deceiver that can lie and cause people to feel trapped and helpless with no way to escape the feelings of hopelessness. Hope can be this double-edged sword. On the one hand, it can provide us with a sense of purpose and meaning. However, if you place this hope on someone or something, then it can lead to disappointment and disillusionment, such as hoping to get that A on the test, or even hoping that that crush that you've had for the last couple of months will text you. Hope is this yearning, intense, waiting and wanting for something to happen. And when you do not get that desired outcome, then you better get ready for a tsunami of emotions and negative thoughts. Because instead of dealing with that current situation, you will throw everything you have at that problem while still hoping for the desired outcome and not realizing that you have actually slipped over to the dark side of hope. Everywhere you look is hope. You walk into any bookstore, you watch your favorite rom-com movie, or even follow the basic laws of the law of attraction, and you will be bombarded with messages. If you hold on to hope, then everything you wished for will come true. So why wouldn't you hold on to it? After all, it promises positive changes, and most importantly, change when you desperately need and want it. So, how did something innately useful as hope come to betray us? If you use hope as a form of a coping mechanism, such as hoping to get pregnant, or hoping your ex will come back into your life, or even hoping for that cure to a terminal illness, then what will happen is that this hope will turn into a dreaded, controlling enemy. And the thing that we needed the most to protect us will reenact the same situation. So I'll give you an example. The ex. Instead of healing yourself and working and building up your self-esteem, you will instead throw everything you have at that problem and hoping that either that person will change or the situation will change. And so you stop taking the necessary and proactive steps to make those changes. And so we continue to use hope then, as we did when we needed to save our minds from those feelings of despair and anxiety. And so we ultimately say, where there is no love, where there is no nourishment, and ironically, where there is no hope. Viktor Frankl, the Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist, was a concentration camp survivor and the author of Man's Search for Meaning. And in his book, he describes his methods and experiences of finding a reason to live. He believed that without hope for their future, a person would die. And what he noticed in these prisoners was he noticed they had slipped over to the dark side of hope because they were waiting for a certain outcome. And when it didn't come to fruition, they often resigned themselves to this belief that their suffering would never end. These individuals would then sink into despondency and hopelessness, which in turn led them to giving up and dying. In this case, hope was misplaced. So what are you to do when you're faced with a situation that's not within your control and it presents as hopeless? Well, Dr. Frankl said it best when he said, when you are faced with a hopeless situation that cannot be changed, then you are challenged to change yourself. He was a realist, and he realized he couldn't change his situation, and he couldn't change that of his torturers. So when he accepted the uncomfortable truth, which was death was inevitable, he found his purpose and meaning in life. For even in those darkest times, he was able to find his own meaning and chose his own way, which was to love. So while hope can be a powerful motivator to change, and it really can, it's important to be mindful of the dark side, for it can lead to despair, complacency, and lack of action. I hope I haven't crushed your sense of hope. Please be hopeful, and I hope you have found this speech enlightening. Thank you.